It's Halloween! Oh! No! No! Hello my vacuum cleaner chums, how are you today? It is the 31st of October, as you can see from my phone screen look, just to prove that I haven't, for once, forgotten to do a changeover video. It is time to say goodbye to the DC04 Thorbster. So let's have a closer look and see how it's done. So, we take the bin off. We can see that it's quite full. There's all the powder still from the Zorb video that we did the other day. It's been emptied a few times, I'll be honest, because I've been using it for test dirt. It's all a little bit claggy now though. And I forgot to do this when we did the Zorbster video. So we shall do it now. That's not too bad. That's a month's worth of use. Right there, the tools. Well, the powder has dried off of this now, and it's now falling out. The back of my car's covered in it, as now is the floor. So there we go, there's a big chunk of it there, look. Well, obviously we were vacuuming it up slightly damp. And if I now open this, hopefully it'll fall out. Oh gosh, look, there as well. So yeah, damp Zorb does cause well, not damage, but it clags everything up under here, look. Where it's gone through the wand. Yeah, it's not a problem really, but it is there. The big test will be, well, there's that big chunk that we scraped out up there, look. The state of under here, and it has all gone from around the housing. The brush roll, as you can see, is quite iffy with string and whatnot. It's all around the wheels. I don't regret using the Zorb, but I certainly... You probably should let it dry, because saying that that's the state of the floor now. Hey ho. So yeah, if you're going to use Zorb, let it dry, but then you're going to be grooming damp in with this, so it's never going to be clean. With use, it would all go. I haven't used it too much since we did that video. The other silly thing I did was vacuum up some damp gel type stuff. And it has caked all inside the hose. You probably can't see it too well, but I need to run the hose through the washing machine to get rid of that and now wash out the wand. I'm probably going to sell this now just because I don't really want it. It's not the greatest example. Really forgot. Notice that the wand is a different colour than the rest of the machine. Well, if you remember when we did the first look video, the wand was glued there. It had been previously repaired. I think the second time I used it, I went to twist the machine. So I went to sort of do that and it all went crunch and snapped off. So this is the wand. Remember a while ago I did a video on breaking a DC04 down for spares. See, always handy. Always handy and always dandy. So, there we go. So yeah, there's a little bit of cleaning up to do. I mean, I'm not going to fully refurbish it to sell it. I'm just going to wipe it down and sell it cheap because it's faded and generally not fantastic. If we look in here, look, there's lots of nice thick dust in there. And if we empty that all over the floor, hang on, let me just readjust. we can see that, yeah, it's basically just consists of Zorb powder. Lots of different types of Zorb powder as well. There's clumps of it. That's where we vacuumed it up damp. It has actually seemed to hydrate that white dry vintage stuff that we had, because yeah, that's called quite damp there. Not damp now, but it's been damp and it's clagged itself up, and yeah, so we have ourselves a mess to clean up. So it's a perfect opportunity really to show you what's going to replace the DC04 and maybe give it a quick run through here. Should we see what it is? I'm going to be using this, my Hoover Convertible, which has been refurbished. Stage 1. It's all been apart, it's all been cleaned, polished and back together looking lovely. However, it's not quite finished yet. I'll show you all those in a bit, but yeah, here we go. So I suppose I'd best take a closer look at this as well, hadn't I? So what have I done to this since you last saw it? Well, first off, I found the missing strips that have been breaking off here, there and everywhere, and I have done a little bit of reinforcement. I'm going to push it too hard because I'll still snap it, but basically I have mummified the backing of sellotape and then cut out the grills like so and glued a couple of them back on where needed. So hopefully I have a lead. It's in another collector's garage at the minute, and it'll be a while before he finds it, but either a whole front panel or just a few broken slats really, and I shall glue them back in and hopefully it will look alright. Here's the hood, just been polished, although it could be polished some more, but I'm not going to repaint it because that is all the damage that there is. And that is, in my eye, firmly in the used and abused category but not destroyed. That's patina. I'm going to keep that because it's not going to want repainting. I'll never get that finish on it again if I repaint it. The back is still yellow because that's one of the things I need to do next year is try retro bright. This won't be the first machine I try it on, but I basically wanted to get that grille done, and to get the grille done on these, it seems you have to strip it apart. That has to come off, the motor has to come out to get to the two bottom screws. So it just got refurbished really because it was easier. If we drop the cable, hang on. I cleaned the cable's all been polished up nicely, so it's lovely and white again. This turns now one of the felt ceiling. See if I can show you, hang on. I can't really. There's a story behind those, I'll say that in a minute. Yeah, there's a felt ceiling pad. That's where one of them sits there. And one of them had dislodged and was jammed. So that's all come out. These stars, I might quickly put the video up at the end of this video, with Charlie's birthday at the weekend. Blimey. And because I'm a massive child, I got some only Poundland foil stars. Got a few bags and then we gave them to the kids and they went everywhere. And this is what cleaned it up. I'll put the video up at the end of this video. Little expert. Because it was great fun and I used this, and that's mainly what made me use it for a month, because I've never used one of these, apart from the few times I have, properly. So we're going to use it. And it's going to be lovely. Do need to get the motor out again though, because when I refurbished this, I didn't know how to get the motor apart, and I couldn't really. I got the end frame off, you tap out 3 pins, and the end plate comes off, and you can get to the rear bush bearing. But I didn't know how to do anything else, and somebody very kindly, a chap called Jay over in the US, told me how to do it. So thank you very much, Jay. At some point, maybe this month, maybe next year, see how we get on, I'll have the motor back out and give it a thorough strip down. So I think the front bearing needs a little bit of love, and hopefully the fans are really clogged, which will mean that I see an improvement. But for now, it's fine, and I even fixed the ish wobbly handle. That I had to try really hard to do that. So that's better as well. So should we have ourselves a little versus video? Why the devil not? So we're all set up. There's a little bit of a silly angle here, so might have to be a little bit creative in our passes, but let's give the Dyson a go first as the outgoing of this month. And that sort of sums my experience with this DC04 up really. It's just not been fantastic. It's been alright, but considering it's been fully refurbished, it does snowplow and then not drag back. Let's see if the Hoover can do any better. I think it can, don't you? So yes, again, another Beko 1987 top tip. Older is better than newer. That's an 875 versus DC04, and now a Hoover convertible. They were convertible in the UK, so I should be calling them a convertible. They're not a Dynamatic. The US had a Dynamatic, we didn't. It's better than a DC04, and I saw some agitation. So let's get a bit up close and watch stuff bounce around a bit. Well, I think this is going to go very well indeed. I don't know if you noticed the sound, but when I was refurbishing it, the brush roll bearing on the belt side was completely destroyed. When I took the end cap off, half of the bearing fell out, the other half stayed on the spindle. You'll see that on the refurb thread. And I'm hoping that it's noticeable that it's so much smoother. I mean, I don't think these are quiet machines. Another collector, Mr. Dale Who, you might know of him, he has one of these that has been lovingly restored itself, and it sounds about the same. So I don't think these are quiet like the oldies, like the juniors, but it's a lot smoother, and hopefully it can be a bit smoother still. But wait, we're not finished yet. Because obviously one of the things I require in a vacuum cleaner is tools. Sofa, dusting, edges, stairs occasionally, and the hard floor in the kitchen. And obviously, as you know, this has a tool slot. But when I bought it, didn't get any tools with it. So what I did last night was I went up into the loft and I got a set of tools out. Now these should be incredibly familiar to you, and indeed they match the fadedness. It has faded to cream. Yes, it is the tools from my Hoover Freedom, because it uses exactly the same fitting. So I can use this with tools. Which will be very handy indeed. Now I can't remember what the wattage is. Hang on. I think it's 800. 840. It doesn't quite seem 840 watts of suction to me, but the seal for the motor housing was quite perished. Most of itself could possibly be better, and I might take a quick check of all the seals around the back door. So it might be a bit better in time, but it's perfectly adequate for now, as I shall now try and demonstrate. I could annoy a lot of people by saying I'm going to use this all month, like this, but I won't. That's fine. It'll be fine for hard floors. It'll be fine for doing some dusting with the dusting brush. It'll do that job. So there we go. October to November is done. For the first time in my life, because I've owned one of these before, but I was only about 14, found it at the side of the road on the way to the tip. It was thrown, obviously, been accused, so they just chucked it in the hedge. And it had all of its tools. It was this colour as well. But the chassis was cracked somewhere on this edge, and I didn't really know what it was, so I didn't appreciate it, and I gave it away without... I think I might have used it once, and it wasn't too bad, but I don't have any experience of it, so I'm going to, whilst this is going to come apart again next year to be retro-brighted, give it a go. So, there we are. October to November, Dyson to Hoover, because I think we've done Hoover to Dyson, have we? No, we didn't. I can't remember what we did now. We'll have after the Junior. No, we did. We went Hoover, was it Hoover Turbo Power Junior or Hoover Turbo Power 2 to Dyson DC04. You know how well that works. I didn't use the DC40. I've used the DC04 solid. I've used this all weekend because I've refurbished it last week. But anyway, I digress. Thank you very much for watching. Happy Halloween for those of you who bother with that sort of thing. Happy Tuesday for those of you who don't. And I shall see you soon. Bye bye.